Yo, 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 and hello and welcome to the 93rd episode of GameSpeak Podcast. New episodes go up for free every Wednesday in audio format on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, Spotify, and all of your favorite podcast directories. And in video format on YouTube so you can see us in stunning HD. This show is two childhood BFFs bringing you all things video games. You can find us online at createforsanity.com where you can listen to episodes, subscribe for behind-the-scenes news, read rad articles, buy sick t-shirts from our shop. Also, be sure to join the community in the Facebook group at facebook.com/groups/GameSpeak to hang and talk games with other nerds like us. I'm one of your hosts, Jamal Aljaafreh, alongside Brent Bass.
Bass.
Yeah, imagine if you just got to speed it up.
The more you speed it up, the more you turn into a bumblebee and fly off. So I know I'm just gonna cut the shit.
Cut it, dude.
I know a lot of you guys are here for this Borderlands VR giveaway, and that's okay. You know, that's why we do these things. So I'm just going to tell you guys how to win real quick, you know what I mean? So, you know, you can choose to either go about your day or continue listening to the soothing sounds of our voice, you know what I mean?
Or both.
Hopefully both.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I hope you survive.
I hope you survive. So Borderlands VR, we got a giveaway for PlayStation 4. I got a code. I'm not sure. I don't think it matters if you're in America or Europe. I'm not sure. I know it works in America. It might or might not work in Europe.
We'll just keep it American.
Yeah, we'll keep it American. No, fuck that, you know.
Well, what if it doesn't work?
Well, then, you know, you can...
Then it's like, sorry, bro.
You could make an American account, I guess, and download it.
Yeah, let's do that.
So there you go. If you're in Europe
or
and it
pretending
doesn't
to
work,
be American.
If you're in Europe and it doesn't work, just make you a U.S. account and download it that way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not the most convenient thing, but hey, save you $50. So what you're going to want to do is like the video, you know,
on YouTube.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Go to YouTube if you're not on YouTube. Like the video on YouTube. Comment on the video saying, well, something about Borderlands. It doesn't even matter. Just say, Gimme Dat Borderlands.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Gimme Dat Borderlands.
Gimme Dat Borderlands. Just comment that, all caps, and we will, you know, put you in the chance to give you Dat Borderlands.
Yeah.
So.
We'll list off the winner. Are we doing next week?
It'll be the week after next week. We're giving everybody a little bit of time. And keep in mind, guys, you will need a VR headset to play this. This is Borderlands VR.
And if not, you'll just have a beautiful code to stare at.
Yeah, maybe if you have a friend who has a VR headset, you could try to win it for them. You know, whatever. You know, it's all good.
Get your buddies in this.
So
Get them all involved.
With that out of the way, I guess we can start talking about our lives and all the good stuff that's probably happened over the past week.
Oh yeah.
Why don't you tell me about your Christmas, Jamal? What happened with you this Christmas?
So this past month, you know, like past month to 2 months, I feel like I've really just caught up with all of my media that I've been needing to get at.
Good.
You know, which is great. Like right at the end of the year,
yeah.
You know, I'm finishing strong. Like I got to play and got a lot of games that I was thinking about all year, and kind of got caught up with the games of 2018, which, you know, helps out with this show, with this episode.
Definitely.
So I'm not going to go into what I was playing.
Sure.
And, but I am going to tell you that I played a lot of video games.
I did too. Our
so
currently playing section is going to be...
See, and I guess we can talk currently playing because
you can omit some shit if it's relevant.
I won't even omit it because the topic is just the best. So like you won't know what the best is by me just talking about the game.
For sure.
But anyways, I played a lot of shit. We ate a lot of food.
Yeah, I ate a lot of food myself, yeah.
What else happened?
You get any cool Christmas presents? You get anything worth mentioning?
So, okay, most of my presents are video game stuff.
Same here. I mean, you know, I love that. So.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all I ask for. You know, people are, what do you want? Well, I just want video game shit, man. You know,
basically that's it. So we got some cool stuff from Allie. First off, Allie.
Yeah, we got these mugs. If you're watching the YouTube video, which hopefully you are, so you can win the Borderlands.
You can see our
got a GameSpeak mug,
late night talk show, like, you know, mugs with our logo on it.
Yeah, pretty sweet.
Champions, and also, you know, she gave us some art.
Oh, we got some art. Yeah, pretty soon we're gonna switch the format up a little bit. Maybe stop with the green screen. Start doing like a like a camera to camera kind of thing. You know, that's one of those things that we're working towards in the future. But we're gonna have some nice art for that.
Yeah, get it framed, pop it up on the wall. That way y'all can see it. And I'm trying to think, what else did I get? And so my family is actually doing Christmas this upcoming weekend. So the weekend after you guys hear this.
Cool.
So I haven't even really got most of my gifts yet.
Oh, cool. That's exciting. So you still have something to look forward to.
Still surprises.
Oh, that's fun.
But yeah, my girlfriend got me a ginormous storage SD card for my Switch because I got a lot of games for it.
How much does the standard one has like 32
gigs.
Something like that.
This one was like 100 something, 120.
Fuck yeah, dude. And you need something like that.
Oh,
you know?
It's been super helpful because I got like 5 games for my Switch.
My roommate, Matt, got a 2 terabyte hard drive or something for his Xbox, and it's like tiny. It's like the size of like an old school iPod or
is it a Passport?
I don't know. I know it fucking has a whole lot of fucking memory on it.
Yeah, dude. You can store the world on those
You really can. I felt bad because he had this like the old school 500 gig Xbox, and he only had like, he could only fit like 4 or 5 games on it at a time. Every time he wanted to get a game, he had to delete one, you know?
Yeah, it is kind of lame that way.
Yeah.
Good job, Xbox. And then 2 or 3 months later, or years later, they're like, here's the 1 terabyte. It was like a year later, huh?
Yeah.
But yeah, I got that, and then that's all I can talk about. So what'd you get?
Oh man, let's see. I got a lot of good stuff. My girlfriend gave me like a fuckload of PlayStation money. So I went and got like all the VR games, like every kind of.
I got all the VR.
Seriously, there's like a whole bunch of VR games that I really wanted, but I had to like bite my tongue and just like, fuck, I guess I can't do that right now. You know, it was one of those like painful, like I couldn't do it. So I went and got like 5 VR games or some shit like that.
Hell yeah, dude.
They were having a sale, so I stocked up. It was one of those where you like checking out and it's like, you saved $65 in the sale. And I'm like, fuck yeah. You know,
because you spent over $200.
Yeah, right. Like, no, but I got a bunch of VR games like that I wanted. I'll talk about a lot of them, you know, and currently playing, and I'll talk about, you know, a lot of them over the course of the next few weeks and months, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And then my mom got me Assassin's Creed Odyssey and Shadow of the Tomb Raider on disc.
Nice.
Which is pretty sweet. I haven't had a chance to try either of them. The Shadow of the Tomb Raider was a Steelbook edition, which is kind of cool.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah, so I'm excited about both of those. We've been having really bad internet problems, so I'm kind of waiting for my internet to go out again, and I'll play one of those when the internet goes out, you know what I mean?
That sucks.
And I got a little money, too, which is cool because I already had a lot of money saved up for rent, so now I just have, like, extra money, you know, or I did have extra money. I went ahead and spent it, which brings me to my next point. I got a fucking Switch, bro.
Oh, you got a fucking Switch?
I bought myself a little Christmas present this Christmas.
Oh my god, you're finally a Switch daddy.
Finally a daddy, bro. The Switch daddy, dude. So I got the red and blue Joy-Cons, bro.
Nice,
you know what I mean?
Nice.
I don't have any games at all for it though, which kind of sucks ass, but you know, I'll get one eventually, I guess, you know. So
oh, dude, check out. Okay, you'll have a game to get by the end of this episode. I promise you.
Okay.
It's that good.
A game to get?
Yeah, because like
well, see, I have a fuckload of games I want to get. I just don't have any money.
I'm talking
you know
price-wise, it's perfect. It's
really?
not going to run you anything.
Okay, I like that.
But we'll get into it.
I've been playing the... I did get like 3 months of the online subscription, so it's I have been playing the NES games a little bit, you know what I mean?
NES is just too old.
I don't know, some of them I've been having fun with, like Mario and Zelda and stuff like that. Double Dragon, you know.
Ninja Gaiden's pretty fun on there. I found that's the one I've had the most fun with.
Really? I need to go try it out.
It's tough.
But yeah, hopefully this weekend I can make a little bit of money and get like Smash Bros. Or Mario Odyssey or something like that, or Breath of the Wild, you know?
Oh yeah, you could totally borrow my I didn't even think about that. I do have a whatchamacallit, a physical copy of Mario Odyssey, dude.
Oh, really? You don't have to let me borrow it if you don't want to.
I already 100%ed it, so it doesn't even matter. There's not much more I can do with it.
I forgot you 100%ed it. Is all the game info saved to the cartridge, or is it on your Switch?
It's on the Switch, I think.
Okay, cool.
I'm pretty sure it's on the Switch. It isn't Game Boys.
Well, we're back on the cartridges, baby.
That's true. But they're playing like 1080p games.
Dude, it does look beautiful, man.
It's crazy.
Even like I'll tell you what, I'll spoil one of my games because I did get a little game with it because I got like a $20 card for the Switch, right?
Yeah.
And I got 3 months of the online service. I was gonna get a year, but I forgot about sales tax.
Oh yeah.
So I got the 3 months, and then I got Hollow Knight, and I've been playing that a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'll talk about that more in the show, but
I want to know about it, but yeah, for sure. Let's jump into the show, unless you got something.
Oh, one more thing I want to talk about just before we get serious and video gamey.
Serious and video games.
Have you seen the trailer for that new Jordan Peele movie, Us?
Oh, I almost thought about writing that down. Dude. So I was walking my dog, and it was like super late, and I saw it was like the trailers out, and I had just got off work.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, sweet. I was like, it can't be that bad,
Yeah.
And so like I start watching it, and at first I'm like, this is kind of whatever.
Yeah.
And then as soon as like everything gets serious with the family, and like they're like, it's us or whatever. Like I like the way the kid like crawls through the living room, and
when they all like split off, and like when they're all standing there, and then they all just like go, like one of the kids goes this way and the other one goes that way, and they all like crawling and shit.
Oh yeah, dude! I saw some theories on this trailer.
Yeah,
I saw some threes.
I think it's gonna definitely be one of the mind-fucky movies, like fucking his last one. You know what I mean?
That's what everyone's saying. Everyone's throwing out their theories, but one of the coolest theories I saw was like the part where she turns around and it's like, I got 5 on it. It's like doing that. So like she's like it's something about like go to the rhythm, like where she's talking to the kid, but she's like snapping off time.
Oh,
and so they're saying
maybe she's one of
the things, and this takes place after the family gets like taken over.
Fuck.
And like, so I was like,
dude, I can't wait to see what this is all about, man. Honestly, I think that Jordan Peele is going to end up turning into like the M. Night Shyamalan of our fucking generation. You know what I mean? Like...
M. Night Shyamalan was the M. Night Shyamalan of our generation.
Yeah, fair enough. I guess the next the next generation of our children's generation
of our kids. No, like that's gonna be. I think he's gonna be like M. Night Shyamalan, or like what's his name? Oh man. He's just maybe even Quentin Tarantino, just because he's making like these weird like things that no big movie director is making.
Yeah, I'd like to see Quentin Tarantino try his hand at like horror again. You know what I mean?
Besides, what?
Well, I guess he hasn't even.
Yeah,
Dusk Till Dawn. Was Robert Rodriguez. I was thinking of that, but he was in it though. He acted in it. He was one of the characters in the beginning.
Well, like I was gonna say, with Jordan Peele or whatever, I think it's really crazy how good of a like writer / director he is, like out of nowhere.
Totally. I mean, I guess it's not completely out of nowhere because I'm sure he's like seen the behind the scenes of like movies being made and stuff, so he understands like how movies need to be made, and like production and like lighting and stuff like that. I think it's not that much of a stretch for him to like be like, okay, well, I'd rather be making horror movies and doing it myself. You know what I mean?
That's true. But the fact that they're so good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Especially for his like first attempt. You know what I mean? I'm sure he's done like a lot of bullshit on the side, just like trying to hone his craft. But like damn,
I forgot they did do that movie with the cat, Keanu or whatever.
Oh yeah, I like Keanu.
Keanu was good, but to go from Keanu to Get Out, yeah. Anyways, well, let's jump on into the news.
Jump on in.
So, just so you guys know, we say this every time. Basically, we're using articles from all over the internet. None of the information that we're giving you is ours. Mm-hmm. We're just giving commentary on it, and we're just kind of, bunching it all up and throwing it at your face
like a snowball.
Yeah. So, let's start off with Nintendo. Adding a few new rewards to the U.S. My Nintendo program. As usual, these mostly consist of discounts on a selection of recent and classic games for both 3DS and Wii U, although you can also redeem your points for some holiday 3DS themes and a handful of printable Animal Crossing rewards. In terms of discounts, 3DS owners can get 30% off the critically acclaimed Legend of Zelda game A Link Between Worlds for 50 gold points. Additionally, Nintendo is offering 40% off of the humorous 3DS Life Sim Tomodachi Life for 60 gold points, or 30% off of Donkey Kong Country Returns 3D for 300 platinum points, and 40% off of Picross 3D Round 2 for 600 platinum points. On top of that, my Nintendo members can get discounts on a couple of eShop exclusive games for 3DS, including Harmonite, a rhythm platformer by Pokemon developer Game Freak, and then you can snag 40% off of the title for 300 platinum points. They're offering 40% off of the tank action game Tank Troopers for 240 platinum points. Meanwhile, Wii U's new selection of discounts are all for virtual console titles. You can get 40% off of N64 Classics, Star Fox 64, and F-Zero X for 200 platinum points. You can also get 40% off of the SNES title Kirby's Dream Course on either Wii U or 3DS for 240 platinum points. That's nice. A lot of information, but it's all there.
Hey, it's worthwhile information.
It's freedom.
Especially to us Switch daddies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
None of that helps us. That's for the 3DS and the Wii U.
You can get the printable thing, right? Didn't you say there was some kind of little bullshit?
That was for 3DS and Wii U. Who has a Wii U anymore?
Hang on, I have that same article. Let's see. While there are no dedicated Switch rewards, members can use their gold points to purchase Switch games or DLC in the eShop. Okay, never mind. Just kidding.
Yeah. There's no discounts for us.
Just kidding. Yeah, that
Ain't
sucks.
no love for us
Ain't
Switch
no
daddies
love for
out
the
here.
Switch daddies. That's sad.
It is. It's like almost like they don't care. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think they do.
I think they just quit. Dude. No, but anyways, what you got?
Okay, let's see. Skybound Games has announced that the final 2 episodes of the PC version of Telltale's Walking Dead: The Final Season will be exclusively available through the Epic Games Store. The PC version of the previous 2 episodes of the final season will also be added to the store. What? Okay. This does not apply to anyone who's already purchased the season pass for The Walking Dead: The Final Season. If you've purchased the season pass through another PC game store such as Steam, then you will still get the last 2 episodes through said retailer. However, if you've been buying episodes of the PC version of the final season individually, then you'll have to go through Epic for the last bits of the story, which isn't that big of a deal. Just load up the thingy.
It's pretty telling. It's a telltale sign that Epic is doing something big over there. But at the same time,
you think maybe they're gonna
what?
Carry on the
no, God, no. They don't care about them. It's just the exclusivity. It's the fact that, it's going to help them, because they're going to be on this exclusive platform that's probably going to get a lot of attention in the next, year or so.
I was about to say, I think we're going to see a lot of exclusives come to that shit. You know what I mean? With all this, undercutting and, the 10% or whatever. Well, the Discord, too. I think Discord's doing the 10%, too.
But...
Well, they're doing the 12% over at Epic, right? With the free Unreal 3 licensing or some shit like that.
Yeah.
There's another benefit to Epic if you're a developer too. I can't.
It's like putting stats into your stat points into your stats. It's really hard to decide. It's like this one's less damage, but it does have that enchantment. That
exactly.
That's how it feels.
Exactly.
Right now. Mario's most recent side-scrolling adventure is coming to Nintendo Switch next month as Super Nintendo Mario Bros. U Deluxe. The title bundles the original Wii U launch game alongside its more challenging DLC expansion, New Super Luigi U, with a couple of new playable characters thrown in for good measure. As it turns out, it boasts another surprise feature over the Wii U version, NES controller support.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so if you get the Wii U NES controller for the online part of having a Switch. Did I say Wii U? I meant Switch. So yeah.
No, I knew what you meant though.
But basically, there's an NES Switch controller that's basically just like a Joy-Con, but it is a NES.
Bro, I was at GameStop earlier, and they had straight up legit GameCube controllers that have a USB hookup for $24.
Oh, and
they had the wired Pro controllers on sale for $18 and some change. Yeah.
That's crazy.
The legit Pro ones,
Dude, that's badass.
I know. I almost got one. Let's see. During a live stream, 343 Studios announced more details for Halo Infinite, the upcoming 6th mainline entry in Microsoft's first-party series. based on what it was announced, it seems like Halo Infinite is still a long way off. 343 Studios is working on a new engine for Halo Infinite, which could push the game's release date to after 2019. We can expect 4-player split screen in Halo Infinite, as the 343 is testing the feature in a new engine right now. During the stream, 343 Studios also announced the armor customization in Infinite will be inspired by the system seen in Reach. Also, players who reach a level 152 in Halo Guardians will receive a special reward in Infinite. The studio did not announce what that reward might be. But I think the big takeaway here is that we basically have confirmed 4-player split screen on Halo Infinite, which is kind of cool.
No, that's really cool. Going back to the place where it belongs.
That's what I'm talking about. Halo and split screen go together like fucking peas and pods and ice cream and something that goes really well with ice cream, bananas or something.
Yeah, I definitely agree with the former phrase there. Anyway, so that's cool. I'm excited. I just want to see what happens with this. I want to see what this new engine looks like with Halo, because I'm so used to it.
It's going to be beautiful.
It's going to be beautiful, but will it feel beautiful? That's the true question. But anyways, hot on the heels of its release on PC, Vikendi has arrived in the mobile version of PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. The new snow map is now available on both iOS and Android as a free update, and it comes alongside a handful of other new features.
Dude, I really should go back and play PUBG, because I haven't played PUBG since they put out the first map, and you know what I mean?
It's still trash.
There's 3 new maps though. I would totally am down to try.
Yeah, but okay, so literally less than a month ago, me and my brother and my brother-in-law tried to get on PUBG on the Xbox One. And it literally was so busted, dude. It was like, imagine how when you were playing, it was even worse trying to load the other levels.
Really?
Oh my gosh,
dude,
so bad.
You think they would focus on refining the existing shit a little more and less on building new levels and coming to PS4 and shit like that? You know what I mean?
You would think, but they don't.
Jeez.
They don't think.
That's sad.
What you got?
Let's see. This is kind of interesting. For Honor is mingling with another Ubisoft property with a limited-time Assassin's Creed crossover event. The For the Creed event runs from December 20th to January 10th and will feature familiar Assassin's Creed characters with trappings of the Animus. During the duration of the event, you can play a special 4v4 Dominion mode called Assassini de Templar.
Assassini.
In which you capture zones to lure out one of the 2 commanders, Ezio Auditore or Caesar Borgia. Defeating either commander gives you 300 points, and reaching 1,000 points and defeating the opposing team during the breaking period will win the match.
Yeah.
So there you go.
There we go.
If you like both of those games, check it out.
Yeah, for Creed.
Yeah.
With arms all open. Okay. Microsoft has announced free Funimation anime titles on its store. Most of the series, so most of the series are shonen, but they represent a wide range of different types.
Shonen's got the best series.
Anyway, so
what the fuck was that?
I was becoming a super pretentious anime fan. All of the free anime offered are the first part of the series' first seasons. So, including My Hero Academia, Fairy Tail, Assassination Classroom.
Oh, that's fucked up. So it gives you the first part of the first season?
Wait a minute, no.
Is that what it
All
said?
of the free anime offered are the first part of the series, the first season.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe it is the first part of the series.
I thought you meant the first part of the first season.
I think it is.
That would be fucked up.
I think it is. I think you're right. I'm pretty sure you're right. And Attack on Titan.
Attack on Titan's good. Honestly, the first season of Attack on Titan's the best season anyways. Mm-hmm. Season 2's alright. Season 3 is okay, guys, what the fuck is going on? Y'all need to
Yeah, it is weird that they're doing it that way, but it's just giving them that first cell of crack. You just give them a little bit.
A little hit of the crack. And they really want to give them a hit of the crack. They need to give them a little hit of that Death Note crack. You know what I mean?
Ooh,
That's the crack you come back for right there.
And And well, I guess it's not anime. Never mind. Okay, so
What were you
I was
gonna
gonna say Cowboy Bebop, but
that's anime, dude.
It's-
Are you kidding me?
it's anime. But I don't look at it like anime. I look at it like
Dude, it's anime.
yeah,
it is
it's anime.
Unquestionably.
No, I don't mean. I feel like because
the
it's
art
like
style and
30
everything.
episodes, you know, like it's not like a series. Like it's a series, but it's not. It's
There's like anime movies and stuff. I mean, that still counts, you know.
that's true.
Just because it's
I guess-
not a series doesn't mean it's more about like the
I thought
art.
anime just because there's manga, which is the comic books.
Right.
Then there's anime,
Which is like the moving version of
which
the
is
comic
the
book.
animated version of
Yeah.
it.
Sure.
But is there not a movie type like word like
I don't think so. I think it's just a movie in anime form. You know, it's like
animated movie? Some would say.
animated motion pic. I don't know, man.
I'm gonna look that up
I don't know,
later.
I don't know.
I'm not arguing it.
There's
I just wanna
probably
know.
some kind of thing. Probably.
I gotta use the right vernacular. You know? People might get angry about that. This is not an anime, dude.
It's not an anime, dude.
It's not.
Okay, let's see. Let's see what we got here. Bethesda has closed out the year by laying out a roadmap of what we can expect the beginning of 2019 to bring to Fallout 76.
Nothing.
The studio outlined a few details of patches coming in January and promised more info to come early next year. In the blog post, the studio noted that a mid-January patch will fix the lever action rifle reload animations, some perk cards, and the crowds at White Spring. Whatever that means. I don't think I've encountered that glitch. The studio promised that going forward in 2019, patch notes accompanied by a brief explanation from developers detailing the rationale behind balance changes and adjustments. It's also working on a new mode without PvP restrictions, allowing you a little more flexibility in how you play. That will be coming out in the first quarter of 2019. It's fair to say that Fallout 76 has had a rocky launch. The game itself released in a buggy state, leading to a poor reception, including in GameSpot's own review. This thing is from GameSpot, which scored it around 4 out of 10. It's been a series of mishaps since then, from an investigation into a PC refund policy, to a bait and switch with the canvas bags in the collector's edition, and finally, a personnel data leak. For its part, Bethesda has continued to support the game with patches and has promised to listen to community feedback going forward. Despite issues, it seems to have had a solid launch, selling decently well in physical copies, according to data tracked from NPD.
All right.
There you go.
Cool.
There was another article that I didn't write down that was talking about the best-selling games for the past month, and it was number 4, right under Battlefield 5. So
Yeah, Battlefield 5 did horrible. So
I don't know if it did
from what I've
horrible.
heard,
It did pretty okay. I mean, like,
not reviews wise. I'm just
not
talking about
reviews
sales.
wise. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
like no. Like as far as sales, the NPD report has it as like the 4th best selling game,
Yeah,
or the
but
3rd best selling game this month, or something like that.
When it's the 4th best selling out of first off, it's only been a month and it's already 4th best selling. That's the type of game that should be first best selling for a couple months.
Just for the month. This is just this past.
That's what I'm saying though. But
Yeah.
it's only been like a month since they came out. Like last month they came out.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
they should still be in the top. They should be number 1, number 2.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll see. Anyways, Razer has unveiled its newest scooter. No, I'm just kidding. Its newest wireless keyboard and mouse,
Oh yeah.
which are specifically designed to work with Xbox One. Called Razer Turret, the mouse and keyboard set retails for $250.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, there's nothing stopping you from using the Razer Turret on a PC, but the mouse and keyboard come with certain features that make it ideal for Xbox One. The
Like
turret
a home button.
Maybe. The turret comes with both Razer Chroma and Xbox Dynamic Lighting, which pair up and cause the keyboard to light up in sync with the games you play.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah. There's also an Xbox dashboard key, there you go, that allows you to immediately return to your console's homepage. The wireless mouse and keyboard offer up to 40 hours of play on one charge, with the keyboard and mouse having a lifespan of 80 million keystrokes and 50 million clicks, respectively. Part of the keyboard can also extend, providing a smooth surface for the mouse, which is stylized after Razer's Mamba Wireless, so you can play with the turret on your lap without a desk or a table if you prefer.
Damn, there's going to be some cheating ass people on Fortnite. I already know.
Oh, yeah. People who can't afford PCs but can pay
Can't afford a
$250.
$250 fucking... You might as well fucking buy a PC if you get a 1X and a $250 keyboard, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, for not much more, you could probably get a way more powerful PC.
That's what I'm saying.
That is pretty funny, though. Yeah, that's going to be whack for all those console
That's
players.
what I'm saying. I'm scared now. Oh, jeez. So here's a little bit of news. Last bit of news from me, actually. They have added the Sam Raimi Spider-Man suit into Spider-Man as a free DLC.
I saw that.
So if you want to be running around looking like Tobey Maguire in this bitch, you know what I mean?
You know what really bothers me?
What?
Is that every article I've seen about that, the title is the worst Spider-Man costume ever.
Yeah,
in
what the
Spider-Man.
fuck?
I'm like, first off,
He's the fucking G, dog.
Show some fucking respect.
Put some respect on the original Spider-Man.
God, these people.
The
Who do they
audacity,
think they
dude.
are?
I'm telling you, man. This is just what the world has come to. Everybody just hates great things now, dude.
I mean, I'm not saying all the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies were perfect. None of them were perfect.
None
but
of them were perfect.
First and second
especially
one,
the third one. But you know, the first and second were masterpieces.
they were solid.
They were great. And you know, at the time when the first one came out, it was like record breaking and shit.
Yes.
Like it was like
I remember
it set new fucking like boundaries for like special effects and like fucking the way people even thought about superhero movies was like completely changed.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what
Y'all
I mean?
wouldn't
like,
have your stupid fucking
Avengers
Endgame without Mr. Tobey Maguire.
Any of that shit, dude.
Yeah, get out of
They
here.
need to put some respect.
God. Andrew Garfield loving motherfuckers
That's
out
what I'm
here.
saying, man. Holy shit.
Fucking whatever this dude is now.
Yeah,
Actually, we're about to talk about Tom Holland.
What?
Yeah, the Uncharted movie project has hit another stumbling block as its director has reportedly now stepped down from his role.
Oh, no.
Sean Levy was due to helm the Uncharted movie, but he is apparently busy with other projects. According to Hollywood Reporter, Levy will direct Free Guy, another video game-themed film, which was recently greenlit by 20th Century Fox. His involvement in that project means he has stepped down from directing Uncharted, or for which Sony is now searching for another director. THR states Tom Holland is still set to portray Nathan Drake, but Levy's resignation is a blow to the project, which has been in the works for years and has previously had 3 other directors fail to get it off the ground.
Fuck.
They're not making this movie.
Yeah, they're not making that shit.
But the movie
if
is...
they do make it, it's going to suck ass.
Oh,
I
yeah.
can tell you already.
Why do you think Sean Levy... He's like, I got other stuff to do, guys. The movie is reportedly a prequel to the games, with a script having been written by Blacklist director Joe Carnahan. Levy's new project, Free Guy, tells the story of a man who realizes he lives inside a video game and his attempts to prevent his developers from shutting down his world. The project stars Ryan Reynolds, Jodie Comer, and Lil Rel, whoever that is, and begins shooting in April.
Cool.
So, yeah, there's some pros and cons there.
Yeah.
We're gonna get this Ryan Reynolds video game movie. I'm cool with that. He's doing a lot. He's doing a lot in the nerd culture, huh?
Ryan Reynolds? Yeah, he really is.
He shows up in Blade. Then he does. He's on the fucking Deadpool shit.
Right.
And then Deadpool
Pikachu.
Again as the real Deadpool, and then Pikachu. Now he's gonna be in Free Guy. What's going on, man?
I'm telling you, man.
He knows his audience.
He really
Anyways,
does.
we're gonna jump on over to this week's releases, guys.
Oh yeah.
That's where I'm gonna tell you what brand new games are coming out in the next 7 days, and there's only like 3. But so we got Xenon Valkyrie Plus coming to Switch on January 1st for $9.99. Xenon Valkyrie Plus is a roguelike platformer game in which you must fight to the deepest part of a moon and halt the plans of a wicked witch. Obtain many weapons as you fight through a unique, randomly generated world every time you play. Encounter many characters, stores, and enemies that tell a legendary story. With traditional graphics and high-quality chiptune music, level up and get the amazing power of the Xenon Valkyrie. And then we got Dynasty Warriors 8 Extreme Legends coming to Switch on December 27th for $39.99. Dynasty Warriors 8 Extreme Legends introduces entirely new levels of fun to the refreshing gameplay, vanquishing swarms of enemies with mighty warriors found in Dynasty Warriors 8. In story mode, where you can immerse yourself in the vivid tales of the romance of the Three Kingdoms, it is now possible to play as the mighty warrior Lubu and embark on a journey that depicts his way of life. Additionally, many new hypothetical scenarios to existing romance of the Three Kingdoms battles has been added, as well as new playable characters, weapon types, growth, speed, run elements, and more. And then Warhammer 40,000 Gladius Relics of War.
There's a new one of these every week, dude.
Literally, what the fuck? They just have like fucking 9 teams.
Shit, dude.
They must make bank on these or
they
something.
They really must. Holy shit.
But yeah, this one's Gladius Relics of War. It's coming to PC on December 31st for $29.99. Warhammer 40,000 Gladius Relics of War brings you to a world of terror and violence. 4 factions will engage in a brutal war for dominance over the planet's resources. In the first 4 by turn-based strategy game set in Warhammer 40,000, you will lead one of 4 factions: Astra Militarum, Space Marines, Orcs, and Necrons, each with their own unique gameplay, technological tree, units, and heroes.
Cool.
Yeah, so that's it for this week's releases.
Ooh, slow week in news and this weekend releases.
Yeah, definitely. But I do have the games with gold for the month of January.
Oh, very nice. What do we got?
Okay, so starting with the Xbox One, which is Celeste.
Fuck.
Yeah, right?
Damn it, I'm sorry, bro.
No, it's fine. No. We'll talk about that in a second. But
that's funny.
Celeste, January 1st through the 31st.
That happens to me more than I care to admit. I always buy a game, and then, like, the next week, it's like, free on games with gold.
Yeah.
The game you just fucking bought.
You wouldn't think that would happen with Celeste. It was just, like, nominated for a Game of the Year.
Yeah, just nominated. It's like a pretty new game, too, you know?
It came out this year.
It's a good game for games with gold.
Then we got Never Alone is coming to Xbox One from December 16th through January 15th. And then we got WRC 6 FIA World Rally Championship coming January 16th. Yeah, through February 15th. I think it's like one of those nerdy racing games.
Oh, okay.
The ones that we don't understand. And then Xbox 360 and One, you're going to get Lara Croft in the Guardian of Light January 1st through the 15th, and then Far Cry 2 from January 16th through the 31st. Month. Yeah, I want to play some of that Far Cry 2.
Far Cry 2 is the hard one. That's the one where you're in Africa.
You get malaria.
Yeah. It's a fun game though. It's just harder than the other ones a little bit.
Yeah, it is. It's not as open.
Still a good game though, you know?
Yeah. It was still it was more classic Far Cry than it is the new one.
Yeah, totally.
It's like a transitional phase, it feels like.
It really is. It's like smack dab in the middle of like that first Far Cry where you're on the beaches. The first Far Cry is fun in its own little way too.
So beautiful.
It
was so beautiful.
It was back in the day. I remember looking at it and being like, damn, dude. You know what I mean?
Video games.
That's kind of Far Cry's thing, I feel like, is like having those like damn visuals.
Just like
you
know bright, colorful, like I mean, now it doesn't really stand up against everything else, but
I don't know. I mean, it holds its own, and like when Far Cry 5 came out, I would say it was one of the best looking. It was maybe the best looking game out at the time.
Oh yeah,
you know
definitely.
What I mean? Like,
but even then, it was still just a little bit better than everything else. You know what I'm saying?
And only for a little while too, because that good shit came out like right after. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, because I remember on the original Xbox seeing it compared to every other game that was there.
Oh, dude, yeah. Far Cry 4 was like leaps and bounds ahead of its time. You know what I mean? Far Cry 4 looks good, like compared to a lot of like modern.
Wait, the first Far Cry was on 360, right?
What? The first Far Cry was on an original Xbox.
It was on original Xbox?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And that's why it was so impressive. It was because it looked like a 360 game, pretty much. It
was like the first CryEngine, one of the first CryEngine games, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's crazy. Anyways, let's jump into currently playing. Go ahead, man.
Okay, I got a lot to talk about, so just bear with me for a second. First of all, I kind of gave up on Soul Blade, or Hellblade. Was it Hellblade or Soul Blade?
Senua's Sacrifice.
Yeah,
it's Hellblade.
It's Hellblade. Yeah, I gave up on Hellblade. I hate to say it, it just wasn't interesting that much to me. Like, I really hate to be that guy because it's like everybody loves it so much, but it's like I just could not get into it. Everything about it just felt kind of basic to me. Like. You know what I mean? I'm sorry.
It almost seemed pretentious, in a way. It was
I don't know. Like, I was just not into it. So I gave up on that, and I moved on to other things. I might come back to it one of these days, but, probably not.
Yeah.
It's just not my kind of thing, That being said, I have come into a literal, landslide of fucking games. Like, I can't even, decide what to play because I've got so much shit. So I've been playing Borderlands 2 VR, which, by the way, we're giving away right now in case you didn't hear about this.
Yeah, the critically famed 3 out of 10 on IGN.
Yeah, 3 out of 10. No, it's fantastic, dude. I will say this, though. I hadn't had a really high-motion game in a while, and I made myself a little fucking sick playing that shit.
Really?
Well, the first thing I did, the first thing I do with most VR games is I go in the settings and turn all the comfort options off, because they're, most of these games are just, bitch-ass fucking, But this is, normal Borderlands, basically, once you turn it all off. And so, I'm hopping around and fucking, running and, jumping and, I almost fell over in my living room a few times. And, but everything looks really good. That's one thing you can say about it is, the cell shading effects of Borderlands really, really work well with the PlayStation VR's, limited, capabilities. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Borderlands is one of those games that doesn't have a lot of, really intense textures or anything to process, so... It just all runs really smoothly. You know what I mean? There's a little jitter every now and then with the headset, but it's hardly noticeable. One thing I will say is driving the cars is incredibly fun, first of all, in VR. But it's also incredibly hard to do with the fucking controllers. So I find that, if you're using the gamepad, it works a lot better for driving the car. If you're using the controllers, it works a lot better for,
being
fighting
a human.
People. Yeah, so I mean, there's trade-offs. You can kind of make do with either one. If you're using a controller, it's going to be like Resident Evil style, where you aim with your head and wherever you look is what you're shooting at. They've also added a mechanic in the game since you don't have co-op. They have this slow-mo thing, and you can push a button and everything goes slow-mo, and it's fucking tight, dude. You'll have bully mongs jumping over your head, and you're shooting them in slow-mo out of the air. I don't know, It's fucking pretty sweet, dude.
So when you're in the vehicles, does it stay in first person?
Yeah.
Really? So they changed that up.
They changed that up.
That's cool.
It's kind of a tight little thing, too, because you can see your feet and stuff, and I don't know, your little hands. The vehicles feel really fast and weird. It's almost scary when you're in the vehicle because it's you push the gas and you're just
That's awesome.
It's probably the most fast feeling thing I've done in VR, and it made me a little sick. I will say it made me a little sick the first time I did it, but the second time I turned my walk speed down from high to medium or normal, I guess. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that fixed most of it. You know what I mean? So
Nice.
I didn't bother me after that. But again, get your sea legs a little bit before you play that one for sure. But it's great. I also I've got a lot to talk about.
No, you're good, man.
I also got this game called Pixel Rip 1989.
We talked about that on this show a year ago.
Yeah, we talked about it coming out, and we were gonna interview the people actually for a little while, but then they were at PAX or something, and they couldn't.
Yeah, it fell through.
They couldn't get in touch with us, but still much love to those guys. They're cool people, and their game is really cool too. I got a little chance to play it, and this is a really interesting game. Basically. The whole game is I won't spoil much, story-wise, but your controller, you move the controller around in the game, or in real life, and then it moves your controller around in the game. But it turns your controller into a Game Boy, basically.
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask. Isn't this the game where it's a retro,
Yeah.
Game Boy.
But the game within the
Boy.
game is actually really fun. Like you're basically playing a retro game in the game, but like you're trying to hide it under your desk while you're at school.
That's what it was.
So you're like blowing spitballs and trying to like destroy stuff in the classroom, so the teacher will go like investigate it, so you can play like Mega Man. The game is basically Mega Man with like a fun like Sonic aspect to it. Like you're running through and like you collecting pixels, and every time you get pixels, your guy like gets a little more defined in the game. And so like when you're maxed out on pixels, you're like basically just Mega Man running. And then when you get hit, you like lose pixels, so he like turns into this like blob, like just this like block, you know. And like you have to collect pixels until you turn back into like Mega Man basically.
And can you beat it by like, so you just have to beat the game by not getting caught playing it?
Well, like the first level, you're in the classroom playing the game, and you and then like some stuff happens. In the second level, you're at recess, and like I won't spoil anything, but some, you know, you're not hiding the game or trying to not get caught, but there are like elements of the outside world that interact with you. You know what I mean? And then in the third level, you're in the classroom again, but then like I got sent to the principal's office, and now I'm in the principal's office and I'm stuck. So like they got really hard. The actual gameplay is very unforgivingly hard in like true classic game fashion. You know what I mean? It's like Mega Man pretty much. Like as far as like
Man's hard as
the
fuck.
difficulty, you know what I mean? So I'm stuck on this one spot where it's like got this weird like Tetris thing going on, and I have to like blow up parts of the principal's office with like, I don't know, it's so trippy, but also really beautiful and polished, and you can tell it's made with like a lot of love. Like somebody who really likes video games made that game, you know what I mean? Somebody who like really cares about like the culture of video games, you know what I mean? There's lots of little jokes throughout the game that are like, you know, if you're like a hardcore gamer, you'll be like, ah ha, you know what I mean? Like
yeah, we should hit him back up and just to talk to him,
but
see if he wants to come hang out on the show.
Yeah, that would be great. I would love to. I think it's actually a lady who made the game. She said it was like her dream project for like, I don't know, a long time, and then she made the game.
Who were we talking to then? I feel like we were talking to a guy.
Probably some representative. I know they got a whole little studio over there, but the head honcho is a lady over there, I think. Head honcho. And then let's see. Sorry, I got a lot to talk about.
You say that after every game. You're good, man. Just talk it.
I got Pokemon Go. I got back. I'm trying to get back in shape, so I've been playing a couple games that I think might help me get back in shape.
Hell
you know,
yeah.
So I've been playing Pokemon Go, trying to get my walk on. You know, and I had to restart the whole game. I'm already like level 15. You know.
Yeah.
And I've noticed now with this Adventure Sync thing where you can hatch your eggs while the game's not on.
Oh, dude, it's perfect.
I set up these 10K eggs, and then I'll go to work. And I'll just like fucking walk around serving my Alfredos or whatever, and then I go in my break room, bam, hatching eggs like a motherfucker, dude. Like, and I'm I'm catching a lot of cool Pokemon. All these like Gen 4 Pokemon. There's so many different Pokemon now.
Yeah.
They've done a lot to the game. You can trade, you can battle. It's cool. The field research is fun. I like that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like aspects of Pokemon Go that have been tweaked to like, I don't know, be very nice, you know?
Yeah, it's like it's a whole new game from what it was.
It really is.
It's got more of a game, like feel to it.
Yeah, definitely. And it rewards you with more Pokeballs, I feel like. I was constantly running out of Pokeballs back in the day, and now I can, I'm not as much.
Definitely.
Let's see. I've been playing Creed. That's another game I've been playing to get... trying to get in shape. I wish. No, this is Boxing Creed. You know what I mean? So this is a VR game, right? And it's based on the Creed movies, which is the spinoff of like the Rocky movies.
Yeah, so you play as Michael B. Jordan?
Yeah, dude. You play as Michael B. Jordan. And I gotta say, this is one of the best VR games I've ever played.
Damn.
And maybe it's just because I really enjoy combat sports, but I don't want to be getting punched in the face in real life, But, dude, it's fucking fun, dude.
Really?
First of all, it's made by Survios, who made Raw Data and, like, Sprint Vector and about a whole lot of other really well-received VR games, right?
Yeah.
But this game is fucking awesome, dude. First of all, I played like 4 fights and I was like dripping sweat. Like I was like fucking like, because before every fight, it makes you do this like sequence of mini games, and if you do them fast enough, you can have more stamina in your fight. If you
Really?
run out of stamina, then your arms don't move as fast as your actual arms. So you'll throw the punch and then your arm will go like all slow and like catch up,
It becomes dream fighting.
Exactly. So you have to block until you get your stamina back. So like in order to get more stamina, you do these exercises before the fight and you like punch a bag really fast or you like run on the treadmill by like swinging your arms. Or,
That's
you do all this
awesome.
stuff and it's like playing the Rocky music the whole time like da-da-da. And so like you get all that shit done and then it puts you in this ring and everything is like really beautifully rendered. Like you can look around and the crowd's all like fucking yeah, and your trainer's in the corner like pointing at you and shit, and then you look across the ring and there's just some big badass dude, and like the movement's really interesting. It's like in their other game, Sprint Vector, you move by like doing your arms like this, like you pump them up and down and you'll move. So like there's a thing where you like can twirl your hands or you can pump your arms and you'll move in certain ways. And once you get it down, it feels really good, like you can kind of like lean back and like twirl your arms and you'll like step back a few steps from him or something,
Oh, that's pretty cool.
And, like,
so you just kind of learn the language, basically.
Yeah, exactly. And then the rest of it is just like basically real boxing. Like you can do like uppercuts and like punch him in the stomach, and like you have to like find a way around his guard, all while like keeping your guard up. And like if you're getting too much damage, you have to like kind of try to like run across the ring and like get behind him or away from him. I don't know. It's really dynamic and the punching feels good. Your hands are like 1-to-1, like perfect accuracy. Like it's probably the best I've ever had a move controller feel in my hand. Like as far as like not like tracking issues go or anything like that, no tracking issues whatsoever. It looks really good and it's just a lot of fucking fun, but it's really tiring too. So you gotta like, it'll get you in shape. I mean, I don't know if it'll get you in shape, but you'll definitely break a sweat playing it. You know
burn
what I
some
mean?
cows, dude.
It's good cardio.
I like that. That's good.
Then I played the new Black Ops 4 Zombies map that just came out with the 24 guy and Helena Bonham Carter in it. You know what I mean?
How is it?
It's pretty good. It's just like, it's like a kind of old school werewolf theme going for it.
Wait, are there werewolves?
I think there are, but I didn't see them. It's weird because like the first 13 stages of the level were like really easy. Like we blasted through them with absolutely no problem. And then on stage 13,
it just got hard.
Hard as fuck, dude. Like I don't know what happened. It went from like 0 to 100, and so I'm going to have to go back and play it a little more, but I think I need to find the Pack-a-Punch and stuff. I need to really flesh out a level, but I got so many video games to play. Who knows when I'll get back to it,
Definitely.
And then with my Switch today, I got Hollow Knight, which I've been playing a little bit. Hollow Knight is pretty fun. It kind of just feels like a basic platformer to me. You know what I mean?
It definitely looks super overrated. Was my problem. I think I have a problem with a lot of the like reviewers right now, because they all have this hardcore nostalgia for like Metroidvania 2D platformers, and it's like, cool, they were cool and everything, but can we move on? Like, can we do something else now?
That's what I'm saying. Like with the whole Dead Cells thing, and like, don't get me wrong, all these games, they're cool and all, like, and the animation is really nice. It's pretty looking. I get it. I get why people like it, but it's very, very basic. Especially when we've seen, what's possible. You know what I mean?
We have power in our hands.
I don't know. Don't get me wrong. I'm still going to probably keep playing it until I get frustrated, because it's pretty hard. The bosses can get really hard, but it's also really satisfying when you beat a boss. You know what I mean? So it's one of those that it's like basically the entire drive to keep playing is like finding bosses, but the map system is kind of confusing, and I don't know. It's pretty difficult, but I'm having fun with it.
Well, sweet. So is that all the stuff you've been playing?
Yeah, that's all I've been playing.
Can breathe now.
I've got a whole lot more to play though that I haven't even touched yet.
Oh yeah,
we'll talk about it on next week's, I'm sure.
For sure. So first off, I got Celeste from you last week. Talked about that. I beat it.
How was that?
It was good. It I want to say it was great because I played it all the way through pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But after I played some stuff after it that were in similar veins, I was like, okay, it was just it was a good game. It was like a really good game.
Yeah.
It has a really good like hook or like a good loop. Like basically the whole game is just it progressively gets harder and harder. Every time you die, you restart at this like it's like roguelite. So, like, if you die... Did you play Celeste yet?
No, not at all.
So, like, you play as this girl trying to climb a mountain for some type of clarity, mental clarity or whatever. She's like... the whole game is about mental issues and about, like, mental... I guess, like...
Like Hellblade, kind of like...
almost, but this is more of, like, dealing with your past and dealing with yourself. It's being like, so basically she goes to this mountain and it's all done in a humorous way, but like at the same time it's charming. And so like, you know, she wants to climb Celeste Mountain or whatever, and the mountain has powers which ends up splitting her personalities apart. And so like at certain parts, like your bad personality will try and like mess up your jumps and stuff, like, you know, if
that's kind of cool.
Yeah, no, it's really cool. Each thing or each world or part of the mountain has like a different theme to it and a different thing that's happening. Like, oh, this one you got to jump over spikes, or this one there's like crystals everywhere and you got to use this. You got to jump into a bubble which gives you an extra jump, but you got to like, and it's all like puzzly. It's almost like a mobile game, but on the next level. And it's really pretty and it's worth beating, and like it doesn't hold your hand, but like anybody could beat it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, not everybody can beat it and get all the strawberries that they have. Like every like little portion of the game, there's like a harder route you can take if you want to, or you can just go ahead and keep going.
I like that.
And you can even put it on like baby mode, basically, where it's like super easy. But I went through it and I tried to collect as many strawberries as possible, but even in the end, I think I got like 110 out of like 170 or something like that. So
well, I'm glad you got a couple hours of gameplay out
thanks
of
for
it,
that.
you know?
No, I got I think I put in 10 hours.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was
that's
10
not
hours
bad
of
for
gameplay.
like the $20 or whatever it was.
Definitely.
You know?
No, I think it was a great game. It definitely deserved its spot, but also Diablo 3 Switch.
Oh, dope.
Got that from my girlfriend, and me and Aaron have been playing a lot of that. Now you got to get Diablo 3 Switch so we can all...
I was about to say 4-player would probably be sick on Diablo, dude.
Oh, dude, it's so fucking cool. And like basically I'm just a necromancer.
Bro, I can't believe I'm a Switch daddy. We're going to be playing hella online games.
We're going to be daddying all over the place. We're just going to father. And then I played a lot of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and then like went and hung out with Brittany's family, and we played Mario Party for the Switch.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it came in handy. And then and then I played Dead Cells, or I bought Dead Cells with some of my Christmas money.
What do you think about that? It's better than Celeste?
Yes. Dead Cells, like, you know, I'm going to go ahead and jump into the topic of the show because this is my game. This is the one I want to talk about.
Dead Cells?
Dead Cells is my favorite game that came out in 2018.
Wow.
It's the best game that and it was something that I didn't think I was going to care for.
Yeah, sure.
Like, even when all that Philip Mewson stuff happened, I was like, that game looks kind of dumb anyways.
Yeah.
But,
it got a lot of nominations, too, at the Game Awards.
Yeah, but I also thought it was another... Well, I
think it actually won an award for Best Action Game or something like that.
Yeah, it definitely won something.
It got something, yeah.
But it looks just like what we were saying, where it's like, I'm tired of these reviewers giving all these 2D platformers an amazing review. This isn't a 2D platformer. So like I basically wrote almost like an entire description of the game, but like because I had to, because there's so many elements to it. But it's a roguelike, so if you die, you start all the way back at the beginning. But like you unlock certain upgrades during your playthrough that carry out through every time. So even when you die, you lose your items and stuff, but you get to keep your like buffs or like whatever it is that you unlocked, maybe some blueprints for weapons and stuff like that. But anyways, so like let me see real quick. So there's like hub parts of the game. So like whenever you first start, you'll start out in this little area where, you know, there's like a guy who takes notes of everything that you've done, and throughout the game and whatnot, and like these bottles that hang that show you what weapon blueprints you've unlocked and stuff
cool.
like that. But then you just walk over and you can just grab an item, like you have a X and a Y, attack, and typically the Y is more ranged, or depending on, you can put it in whichever slot you want, or like, and then you have your like close combat. But the thing is, and then also you have like 2 grenade type weapons. One cool. could be like a little thing you throw down and it shoots like saw discs, and it does like, and it causes bleeding, or it causes, like this percentage of damage plus burn effect and all this stuff. So like it has all these different elements to that stuff. But whenever you first start your first like 9 to 10 playthroughs, you only have like these shitty weapons that you start with until you start unlocking blueprints and getting cells to spend on stuff.
Oh, cool.
Because you eventually unlock a permanent buff that's like every time you start, you'll get a random melee weapon or that you've unlocked, or like, because you never get to just choose which weapon you start with. But anyways, these hub parts are there, and those are always the same. But whenever you go into the actual like place that you're playing, like the actual levels, there's like a toxic green level with like typical enemies that would be there. There's like a fire world and all this stuff, but whenever you go into those, they're procedurally generated. But they still kind of fall into like a same line, but it makes it to where every time you play through, it feels like a whole different playthrough.
Oh, that's cool.
Like a whole different game, because like randomly it's like, oh, there will be a shop here, or like next time you play, the shop will be up here, or there might not be a shop throughout the thing, and like you just get fucked on that run through. And every time you just want to get a little bit further, because you build up your buff, or like you unlock a new weapon and you're like, oh, hopefully I'll get that randomly, and then I can run through and get even further, and it's just really good. Like it sounds like, oh, that that sounds kind of dumb.
No, that sounds tight to me.
Well, it's like
sounds a lot like The Persistence. Have you heard about that? It's a VR game where you're on like a spaceship, and the spaceship is procedurally generated, and you're like trying to go up floors of the spaceship or something so you can get out, and like every floor you can like, you're trying to like absorb like cells from these zombies so you can like upgrade weapons and like get stuff like that so you can be more powerful. I don't know.
It sounds almost the same.
Yeah, but except for, obviously, whatchamadiddly's in VR, and it's like a first-person shooter and stuff like that, So there's a little bit of a difference there, but same kind of gameplay, kind of.
Man, it sounds almost the same.
Yeah.
So, like, the enemies, this is where I think the whole Dark Souls part of it comes in.
Yeah.
Even though it's like a 2D platformer, I love the way it looks. Like the design.
Yeah, I've seen a few videos. It looks pretty nice.
It is. It's super nice. But like, basically the enemies, each one has a different, like, a specific attack. So every time you see this monster or creature, you know exactly what it can do. But you don't know that whenever you first go in and you encounter these different monsters, and each world has different monsters, and they're they can be so annoying because like you'll get it down, but you'll hit one wrong button, and like it's your fault. At that point, like you can dodge roll, you can do your close attacks.
That's one of my biggest problems with Hollow Knight is there's not any kind of like dodge roll, at least that I haven't unlocked yet. Like a lot of times you really want it, like
Definitely. No, this game is so smooth, and like every time. Like, I'm at this point where I never thought I would be this good from the first time I started playing it. I was fuck, this is going to be so hard. And now I'm like a fucking ninja, dude. Like, I'm just, like, sliding through. I'm, like, chopping people to death that like, originally took me, 5 to 6 hits. Like, even on the first part, like, I know exactly how many times to hit the button to drop him, and then drop down below level before the bombs that he dropped explodes, and like all this stuff. It becomes so action packed and so little time, and like you get down this like Spider-Man movement. Like, you get so quick about jumping between things and sliding, and like, and you get to decide which ways you want to go and find stuff.
Ooh, and that sounds fun.
It's really fun, dude.
How much is it?
$24.
That's not bad. I'll have to scoop that up,
dude. Like, I'm telling you, this is amazing. I don't care. And that's
is it only on Switch or is it?
No, it's not only on Switch, but I think it's best on Switch.
Yeah,
because...
I like these side scrollers to play on the go.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Is like even though it's a so like you get through the little fighting level or whatever. Once you get or not the fighting level, but once you get through a certain world, at the end of every world is the little hub world,
yeah.
so you can re-heal. Like you have a chance to heal up there. And like fill up your health flask, which like that's a permanent buff you can get if you want, and like put your cells towards. So like I have like two health flasks, so every now and then I can pop them out if I need them.
Dope, yeah.
And but like I don't care for roguelikes, and I don't care for procedurally generated shit. But this game is the exception. I don't know how to explain it. Like I'll probably never find another game with those two elements, or even one or the other element besides like Minecraft having procedurally generated, that I'll care about. Yeah. This game is like, it's in my top 10 games of all time now. Like, and I've probably had it for like 2 days, and I think I've probably put in over 10 hours and I still haven't gotten past the first boss. But like every single time you get, but you don't meet the first boss until you get through 3 worlds. So like, or like 2 worlds, depending on how you play it. But anyways, so like by the time you reach him, you know, like you hope you've gotten good enough weapons and upgraded and gone to a shop enough times, or like ran into a shop enough times, or found a random weapon and upgraded your brutality or whatever it is you want to upgrade. And then you get to him and he just fucking destroys you. And you're like, God damn it. But instead of being like, I don't want to play this anymore, the game is so quick to drop you back into the action and get you building up again that like you forget. It doesn't
give you time to like get
not
discouraged.
Care. Yeah. Like I mean, I probably did that for like 2 hours straight, where I would just get all the way up to the boss, get destroyed, head right back into the game and go again.
That's kind of how Hollow Knight keeps you going. It's like you come just close enough to beating the boss every time that you're like, fuck, I know if I got like 2 or 3 more hits off on him, I could have beat his ass. You know what I mean? Like,
well, see, and that's the other thing. And like in that game, how it's like, oh, if I could have got some more hits on him. This one, it's like, if I play through one more time and get enough cells, I can unlock this, which will probably give me a better weapon that I can probably go in and just defeat him with.
Yeah.
You know, it's like that kind of thing where you're constantly progressing rather than like, oh, my skill's getting better, because it is, but you're also getting better weapons and better charged and like all these things. I
like that. I like building up a character like that.
Oh,
That's always fun to me.
So good. Anyways, yeah, but I just wanted to talk about that. That's going to be... I mean, that's my favorite game of the year, and I got in quite a bit of 2018 games here at the end for an Xbox and Switch guy. I mean, I got Smash Bros. I got Far Cry 5. I did Celeste, Dead Cells. Trying to think of what other 2018 games that... State of Decay 2.
Oh, yeah, I played State of Decay 2. I played
Forza.
Most of the notable games that came out this year, except for Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which I actually own now.
Yeah, now you have it.
I mean, I'll get back to you on that one, but
yeah, and you had the PS4, which like was where most of the best stuff was at. So,
dude, that's honestly the best thing ever. Now I've got the Switch. I'm like fucking Thanos with the fucking Infinity Gauntlet, dude. I've got it all, dude. Like, there's no fucking road that can stop me, dude. That's like, true. I got the VR, man, dude. It's like, any game that comes out, except for like PC exclusives, are like my oyster right now, dude.
Yeah, and who wants Warhammer 40,000? Guardius.
But yeah, I played most of the good ones that came out. You know, I played Spider-Man. I played all those. And I gotta say, there are 3 that stood out to me. You know what I mean? 2 of them are very obvious. God of War, obviously, fucking amazing game, dude. Fucking amazing game. Obviously, it won the game of the year for a reason. You know, the voice acting is fucking incredible. The actual like story is really, really, really good. Like, as the way it ties the new and the old together, and like the way just like everything plays out is really emotional, and like the way they shot it with the one camera angle the whole time.
Yeah,
just a fantastic game, you know. So I mean, that's more of an obvious one though. Red Dead Redemption 2, obviously another one that's super obvious, but you know, if I'm gonna be real, these are probably the 2 best games this year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Red Dead Redemption 2 is just like one of those that everybody who has a PS4 or an Xbox should probably own because it's that good. Just right up there with Grand Theft Auto 5. You know what I mean? Those are the 2 games that I feel like most people should probably invest in and get and play through at least once. You know what I mean? Just because like it's just so like culturally defining and shit. It's like that good. You know what I mean? However, I do think God of War out of the 2 is probably a little better. That being said, I feel like the unsung hero out of 2018 isn't Spider-Man, you know? It isn't Far Cry 5, you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course
it's fucking not. Detroit Become Human.
What?
Yes.
That's your number 1 game of 2018?
Well, no, my number 1 game of 2018 is probably God of War.
Oh, okay.
Or Red Dead.
These are just like,
but those are very obvious.
mentions.
You know, those are very obvious. You know, honestly, if I'm not picking one of the main, you know, games that's super obvious to everybody, it's going to be Red Dead. I mean, Detroit Become Human. I feel like Detroit Become Human was just as good of a game as God of War or Red Dead. You know, maybe not quite like, maybe not like if they are 100%. Detroit Become Human is like 90%. You know what I mean?
That's a huge percent difference there. That's a 10% off.
I mean, you know, not that much.
Like
you know
98%? I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, putting every other game this year at like a 75% or something. Yeah. If like let's say Far Cry 5 is like a 70% in this scale spectrum that I'm making up here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just roll with me on this.
Okay,
you know
Far Cry 5 is a 70.
Just go with it this way. I feel like Detroit is only slightly less good. And not that it's less good, it's a different style of game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And for the style of game that it is the fucking Red Dead of that style of game. You know what I mean? Like all the details and stuff. Not even the narrative. The narrative's just as good as any other narrative in any other game. You know what I mean? I mean, it's great. Don't get me wrong. But what really makes it is the options. Like, the choices and the consequences of your actions. It's like, it's one of the first games that I truly feel like it has, like, all of the decision-making stuff that I want from a game like that, you know? Until Dawn came close, but it didn't, like... It was nowhere near the level of detail of like Detroit. Like I played through Detroit like 5 times when it came out. Like,
nice.
You know, like I didn't do that with God of War. I didn't replay Red Dead. You know,
True.
I played fucking Detroit so many times, and just to get every little nook and cranny of that game because I loved it so much. Like, I don't know, this is a low stress game. It's a great story. It's really interesting, and like, your choices can really affect what happens in, like, multiple ways. Like, you can kill everybody in the fucking game right at the beginning and just sit there for an hour and watch the rest of the story play out without any of your characters in it. You know what I mean?
God.
Like, it's that detailed. I don't know.
That's crazy. I wouldn't want to do that, though.
No. You definitely don't.
Sit there forever. Nice. So I feel like we had some pretty good choices there.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I also have a couple. I think, you know, just since PSVR is kind of its own medium, I wanted to talk about my favorite PSVR games. You know what I mean?
Okay.
The 2 favorite PSVR games that came out this year have got to be Astrobot Rescue Mission, which is really, really dope. It's like a little platformer, kind of like Mario Odyssey, but like all in like stereoscopic 3D with the fucking VR. And you can, like, look around, and, like, you know, your whole objective is to collect these little robots. So, like, you can, like, look around the level, you know, and you'll, like, see the robots, and you make your guy jump over there and get them. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. All kinds of crazy shit like that. You have your controller, and you can shoot, like, a hook shot out of it and make your little guy jump on the rope and walk from your controller to, like, stuff out in the distance, you know, stuff
That's
like
pretty
that.
Cool.
It's like really creative, and while he's on the rope, you can like fling him up in the air, or just little things like that, you know. And then my other favorite VR game this year that's come out so far, well, Creed. I got to throw Creed on there too. I've only played it a little bit, but that was a lot of fun. And Firewall 0 Hour is probably the most legit multiplayer VR shooter that exists today. In my opinion. It's like a Rainbow Six Siege style game in VR, and it is fucking fun, dude. Like, really, really fucking fun. And it utilizes the aim controller better than almost any game out there that has the aim controller support, so.
That's what I hear. I hear it's pretty great.
Yeah, so there you go, guys.
So number 1 is God of War, and then those are your follow-ups of like,
yeah,
they're on the best list.
Yeah, totally. But I wouldn't, like, I feel like it's hard to even say that Red Dead is the follow-up because it was so close between the two. But I think if I had to go back and play, well, that's unfair because God of War came out longer ago. I'll have to wait like a year.
Don't say go back and play. Say, okay, here's how we're going to do this. Those kids, the 24 or like a wave of, like 4-year-olds, they're all holding AK-47s in a circle around you, and you have to choose a game. And then if you don't, you die.
If I have to choose one out of all of them?
Yeah, you can't take on that many 4th graders with the AK-47s. It's just not worth it. Just pick a game.
Man, now that I'm actually thinking about it, like in that term, like I might die if I don't pick one of these to play for the rest of the time. I might pick fucking Detroit, honestly.
Just for the options?
Just because I like Detroit a lot. Like, it really appeals to me.
Damn. That's a I don't know what to even call that. That's like, I think you're probably alone in that boat. But that's a good.
I don't know, man. There's definitely some people who like Detroit with me. But
no, I mean to call it their game of the year.
I don't know. I don't know if I'd call it the game of the year. It's just like if I had to pick one that I could play for the rest of time, like I know that God of War is a better game. I know it. Because I played them both to completion.
But that's we're not talking technicalities here. We're talking what is your game of the year? What is the game that spoke to you?
Gosh, and, honestly, it really comes down to my mood. Because I like those 3 games equally. Including Red Dead. Like it's just about how I'm feeling that day. Do I want to pop a cap and a cowboy? Do I want to throw an axe through a fucking ghoul? Or do I want to be an android trying to fight for his civil rights? You know what I mean?
Video games. They've given us so much. And they ask for so little in return. Okay, cool. Well, we still don't know your answer, but all right.
I'll go with God of War.
Okay, God of War.
Let's call it God of War.
Yeah. No matter what, it's like, but. No. All right, so we're gonna jump on over to the People's Champ, but before we do that, guys, if you're listening to this, we want to know what your favorite game of 2018 was. So just post it in the comments along with your Gimme Borderlands VR or whatever. Gimme Dat Borderlands. And we want to know. Anyways,
so the People's Champ this year. I'm not this
year.
This year.
We do got to do this year
pretty soon. Well, and we'll do that on the anniversary, the 2nd anniversary of GameSpeak itself.
Is that when we're doing that?
I think so. We did the first one on the 1st anniversary of GameSpeak, like on our 56th episode or some shit.
Oh, really?
You know what I mean?
Okay, so I thought it was just at the end of the year.
No, yeah.
Okay.
No.
See, we've been doing this for so long, I don't know anything.
We're getting there, though. I think at like episode 110 or 12 or something like that, we'll be at 2 years.
Okay.
So we're really pushing it,
Yeah.
But yeah, so moving on to the People's Champ, we got Chad McLean this week breaking Charles's winning streak. Chad says, with Sony declaring they won't be at E3, do you think other companies will follow? Also, would you cut off your hand for $500,000?
So nonchalant.
So first of all, do I think other companies will follow as far as E3? I think E3 will probably live on for a while, and I don't know. I think maybe a few companies might follow, but
I think E3 will evolve into something different.
Yeah,
and then,
it's going to change,
Yeah, and I do think they're already doing it. Every, big video game or
Nintendo
hardware
already
company
broke off a while ago.
Yeah, PlayStation's late. Xbox did their Xbox Zero, or what was it? Their conference?
Yeah.
I forget what it's called.
Yeah, I can't remember.
The Xbox XO.
I think that we're still going to see software developers show up at E3 because they don't really have the means to make their own medium. People like Activision, Ubisoft, Digital Devolver, Bethesda. They'll probably all still show up at E3. I don't think that.
I think it's more about them anyways. It's more about the games.
Absolutely.
The hardware, like, the companies can get to you at any point. Like with their first party stuff, they could literally put out a random YouTube trailer and never tell anybody about it, and it would still be the biggest video, like,
totally
that day.
Totally. And I think, I also, this is just me, I think that, whenever PlayStation 5 comes out, PlayStation will be at E3 with that shit. You know what I mean? That's just, call me crazy, but I think that when the new consoles come out, they're going to take that shit to everything. It'll be at PAX, it'll be at E3,
Yeah,
they
of
might
course.
sit out a year or two, just because, like, they don't really have anything big to talk about.
Yeah, that's
But
definitely
when they
what they're
get
doing.
something big to talk about, I guarantee you'll hear about it probably at E3 or
We'll see,
around
though.
the time of E3. If they don't come back to E3, I guarantee you they'll do something around the same time as E3 like Nintendo does. You know what I mean?
PlayStation Direct.
Yeah.
They just steal the name. Yeah.
As for what I cut off my hand for $500,000, hell no.
I don't know. They got those cool. Did you see that they're doing like Halo prosthetic arms?
Oh, I did see that. How much do they cost? $500,000.
Probably. But I know.
You better give me like $500 million, $500 billion, something.
Well, I feel like that's what makes the stakes so high.
Half the shit I want to do requires my hand. You know what I mean?
I mean, if you've got Halo prosthetics, dude.
I mean,
And they've got like, if you're on Xbox, they got all those like differently abled controllers and stuff like that now.
dude, I'm not trying to like relearn. No, I'm good. I'll make my fortunes elsewhere. Now,
All right, man.
maybe ask
You're
me
missing out.
again when I'm like 70 or 80. You know what I mean?
Oh no, that would suck because then it'll be like a Twilight Zone thing where you're in a retirement home but you can't play the video games because you just cut off your hand.
Oh, dude. Yeah, good
And
point.
then you have $500,000.
Yeah, I don't think there's ever a situation where I'm going to do that. You know what I mean? Like,
if I knew I could get like a really cool prosthetic hand that worked just as good as my normal hand, I'd do it.
what? Like, would you be able to feel stuff with the prosthetic?
Yeah, dude, of course.
Well, that would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be mad about that.
Then
But then
be like
you could
a
never
cool
like
anime
compete.
character.
Like, what if you discovered you're like a really good fighter, but you could never compete in like a combat sport because you got a metal hand? Or like, what if you find out you're a really good swimmer or any kind of athlete? They wouldn't let you be an athlete with some kind of like prosthetic fucking hand that's like super hand.
They
You know
totally
what I mean?
let those people be athletes.
No, dude, you're not gonna be a quarterback if you've got like fucking robo arm and you're just like fucking launching that bitch 500 miles, dude. You know what I mean? They can't do that.
I'm
That's
not saying
fair.
it's like fully upgraded with like rocket launchers and stuff.
Dude,
No, I'm just saying
it better be.
it's got the
fully
same
upgraded.
abilities as a normal
Who's
hand.
to say what the same abilities are? Who's to say you can't
You
tweak
just look
that
at
shit?
one thing and you make it the same. That's like,
yeah, but everybody's the same is different. Like, I guarantee you.
oh, okay, go.
You know what I
No,
mean?
it'll be proportionate.
That's the whole
to
point
your
of the
body.
sports, is to see who's better physically. If you just got some robot doing all the work for you, you know what I mean?
I mean, I'm saying.
I guess it wouldn't really matter unless you plan on becoming a professional athlete, but.
Yeah, you'd just be really good at like tennis. I feel like that'd be the only thing it would be really good at.
Really? That's the thing that
Because I
you think it
feel
would
like
help you with?
It would break under other circumstances, like you can't just go punching people with your prosthetic hand.
Yeah, you can if you got a Master Chief arm. Have you played Halo, dude?
That's all that dude does. Melee. No, it's true. You're right. I don't know. I think $500,000 is just too little nowadays.
Yeah, nowadays. Maybe like, a long time
like
ago.
in 18.
Inflation, guys.
07
you're gonna
or
have
something.
to offer us more money for this hand chopping business.
Yeah.
Now, maybe a finger. I'll chop my finger off for $500,000.
I'd have to think really hard which one to take. Probably my pinky would have to go. Just because you don't use it as much.
You might feel kind of off balance, though. Like,
yeah, but at least you could still. Oh, yeah, you're right.
cut your ring, like maybe like your what's this finger?
You
your
need
ring
that
finger?
to wrap around the back of the controller.
You could use your pinky, but then again, I guess
Then
you're
it'd be
right.
like.
Pinky's probably the one that needs to go anyway. I think I have one of my pinkies broke when I was a kid, and it's kind of been weird ever since. I'd probably just chop that one off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's this one.
I got the same thing, but with my middle finger.
Oh yeah, wow.
But like, I need my middle finger.
Middle finger is important.
Yeah.
You gotta flip people off.
Flip the bird.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Thanks for your question, Chad.
Yeah, we got
Great question.
One other from Mr. Charles.
Yes, Mr. Chastain himself. He says, with all of the staff shifts at Activision/Blizzard, how do you think the developer/publisher relationship is going to change? Is one of the biggest studios in the industry being led around by its chastity cage, a canary in a coal mine of game quality?
So I think I know what he's talking about. I feel like we talked about this on the show a while back, but we need to do a little bit more looking into that. But because I want to be a little bit more informed on that before I make an opinion.
Yeah, same here.
But
I do think in general the developer-publisher relationship is going to change just because of all of this weird stuff with the Epic Store and Discord. I think it's like a totally different, thing about than what you're asking, but I do think we're going to see a significant change in the dynamic of publishing and developing and stuff.
Well, I think he's talking about specifically with Activision and Blizzard, right?
I think so, yeah. And in that instance, I'm going to have to do a little more research and get back to you, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Because I don't know the exact thing he's talking about. I don't want to be talking about the wrong thing. Anyways, so we'll answer that on the next episode, Charles.
Yes.
We're going to jump into this week in gaming history so Brent can wrap up the show.
Damn! This week in gaming history, we are going back to 2005.
What console?
Well, we got a couple consoles, bro.
Wait, what? Oh, it's on a couple consoles?
We got a couple different games, bro.
Oh, wait, which one are we on, though?
December 29th, 2005.
Okay.
Xbox 360. It's a launch title.
Oh, 360 launch title. Call of Duty 2?
No. Something I was always playing. I did play a lot of
Perfect
Call of Duty
Dark?
2. No.
It's 360.
Actually, I think
noise. Are you sure it was a launch title?
It was a launch title, but actually, it wasn't one of the ones I had. I had the predecessor for original Xbox as a launch title, but its predecessor had a launch title for original Xbox, and this one had a launch title for Xbox 360.
Was it a?
It was a fighting game.
Oh, Dead or Alive.
Yeah, Dead or Alive 4, baby.
Yeah, okay. But Dead or Alive 4 was no Dead or Alive 3.
Dude, I don't know. I like Dead or Alive 4. Dead or Alive 5 is where it all fucked up.
When it went to 3DS?
That was good, too. The Dead or Alive 3DS one?
Yeah,
I had a lot of fun with that one.
Dead or Alive 5.
Dead or Alive 5 only sucked because it was, broken into, it was just all microtransactions. It was actually a pretty decent game. It just, wasn't all together as a game,
Kind of like that new Killer Instinct.
Yeah, exactly. But Dead or Alive 6 is going to be different. They're going to go back to the original format, and Dead or Alive 6 is going to have combat damage, so you can bruise your opponents and stuff.
Oh, nice.
Which is kind of cool.
It's like Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I like it.
Also in 2005, this one's for PlayStation 2, December 22nd.
What console?
PlayStation 2. Got a sequel coming out pretty soon. Next month.
Oh, Psychonauts.
No.
Oh. Wait, why not next month?
It's not like a direct sequel. It's a...
Oh, it's just another iteration.
Entry into the series.
It came out on PS2.
2005, baby. December 22nd.
I don't know. What is it?
Kingdom Hearts 2.
Oh, God. I would have never guessed that.
Actually, it is a direct sequel on the new one coming out. I'm tripping.
Yeah. Finally. After two entire console generations.
Yeah, fuck yeah. The 2005 is when the last one came out. So it's been, 12, 13 years.
It actually was only delayed one time.
Really?
Yeah. People didn't even know about it until, after a bunch of nonsense had happened, where they switched over the
engine?
Yeah, the engine and everything. And
I remember that. That was a big deal.
There wasn't even a release date at that point,
I think it'll look better with the new engine.
Oh, yeah. Anyways, y'all will finally get to play that weird, nerdy Disney game. So remember, guys, you've been listening to GameSpeak Podcast, courtesy of Create for Sanity. The show posts for free every Wednesday on all podcast directories. Be sure to submit any questions you want read on the show to GameSpeak Podcast Facebook group. Check out our video content on YouTube. All you have to do is search Create for Sanity. It's all one word. And if you want to stay up to date with your boys, you can find me on Twitter at the handle Aljaafreh Jamal. and Brent at Brent Has One. That's the number 1. And check out the GameSpeak Podcast Instagram. Until next time, listeners, later.
And don't forget, you guys, go type in Gimme Dat Borderlands and like this video.